It's Jackie Mumford, the Real Estate Maven, and this is a video of me going through a property that I sold earlier this year, just making sure it was ready to go. I had an open house that I was setting up for. It's one of my sellers who were out of town and vacant home, so sometimes I'll have my cleaners go by and do a little spiffing for me. Sometimes I just have the seller go ahead and hire someone if it's like a ton of work that needs to be done. But this house just had a little bit of spider webs and had some little footprints and things from people traveling in and out. And I was the second real estate agent on this home. So trying to be the second agent on a property that has already been out on the market for 6 months is not always the easiest thing to do, because you're just truly relaunching the home and trying to re-expose it to give it a different fit and flavor of your own, plus market in places that hadn't been marketed in before, trying to attract new eyeballs to something that has sat out unsold for so long. And it's not the easiest thing to do in the world. So I always try to pitch in wherever I can. On this day, we had some contractors in the house doing some lighting upstairs. They were missing lights in the upstairs bedroom. And so while I was waiting on them, I was kind of spiffing up a little bit, getting ready for the open house that I had either that next day or that weekend that was coming up. And so, whenever there's subs in the house, as long as, I'm able to, I'll get in there and kind of spiff things up. I don't charge any extra for it, even though I should. A lot of sellers don't even know that I do these things, although I do try to tell them that they should have weekly cleanings or bi-weekly cleanings for their house, even if it is vacant, because people do bring things, track things on their shoes, and even if you tell them to take their shoes off and things like that, sometimes they'll just track that stuff in anyway. Or if there's the storm doors or the sliding doors sometimes might stay open during a showing because people are coming in and out and they're not all, they're tracking things in the bottom of their shoes. Now, in this house, like I said, it needed a few things done around there, and I the seller hired a crew that I recommended to finish up the last couple of things, namely the lights for me. And so they were upstairs while I'm out downstairs, kind of spiffing up a bit. Now, when your house is vacant, one of the things that sellers, I always say out of sight, out of mind, one of the things that they tend to forget is they're outside as well, making sure, especially with this time of year that I sold this house, making sure that the leaves are blown off, the decks, the walkways, the driveways, so that every buyer has the same experience to see a nice, crisp, clean curb appeal and entry to the house. One of the things that tend to get people tend to forget is cleaning that front door. Your front door actually should be clean. You should be wiping it down pretty frequently because while the realtor's there at the door fiddling around with a lockbox and the key, their buyers are standing at their back watching them, but also taking in how things look around that door. And if you got a bunch of cobwebs, or if the brass and things around the doorknobs and hinges look all kind of dingy and old and dirty, they do take note of that. So here I'm in the kitchen rearranging some things that I staged. I don't really do staging as part of my business. I hire stagers that my sellers pay for, but every now and again I'll get a few chotskis, especially if it's going to help make the property more comfortable while people are there. So bringing in a roll of toilet paper, bringing in paper towels, hand sanitizers, things like that, little trash cans, just so you don't have little litter or little things all over the house. Now, we're upstairs and they're just about finished with doing the lighting up there. This house actually did not have lights in the 3 secondary bedrooms. I had made the suggestion that they do that when I listed it, and I was really surprised that, one, the house did not have any window coverings on any of the windows, and
So what company are you with?
they did not have light in the upstairs bedrooms, and so they were like, oh, we never got around to that. We put so much money in this house, we I guess didn't either think to do that or think that it needed it, but it really limits the showings you have at night. During the day, it's pretty because, there weren't any window coverings, so it looked nice and bright and open and fresh. But at night, you felt like you were kind of in a fishbowl because once the light, especially once the lights came on at night, you felt so exposed. So, most sellers, I tell them, kind of be cognizant of the showing experience in the house. You're not just selling the sticks and the bricks that sit on the dirt. You're also selling the peace of mind that you want the buyers to have and what you're trying to convey. And you also want them to buy because of how they experience the home. If they experience the home and they feel like they're in a fishbowl, it doesn't lend to thinking there's privacy. And you're thinking like, yeah, these people can just go buy curtains or buy blinds and do that themselves. But it's the experience. Yes, of course they can do that, but it's the experience that you're trying to sell them, not just the sticks and the bricks.